Michael Harlow had everything until the night he lost it all. His company collapsed, his best friend vanished with millions, and the world turned its back on him. But the last person he ever expected to see again was Claire, the woman he broke, the woman he walked away from without a single explanation. She should have ignored him. She should have let him drown in the chaos he created. But when Michael showed up shaking, exhausted, and hiding a dangerous secret, Claire did something unbelievable. She took him in. She sheltered him. She helped him breathe again, only for the truth to explode weeks later. Michael didn't leave her because he stopped loving her. He left because someone threatened her life. Now Claire must decide. Does she walk away forever or save the man who once shattered her heart?
In a mansion so beautiful it didn't look real, a man with everything lived like he had nothing, and the woman he hired to clean his floors became the one who opened the door he'd shut for years. The golden sun spilled across the glass walls of Alexander Cole's mansion, turning the marble floors into mirrors of light. His home was the kind of place people only saw on magazine covers: endless hallways, a grand piano no one played anymore, and a private elevator that hummed like a secret. But inside that breathtaking luxury lived a silence so thick it felt like a second layer of paint. Alexander, the billionaire tech investor everyone admired, walked through his mansion with the heaviness of a man moving through memories.
That morning, Claire Dawson, his newly hired housekeeper, stepped into the palace-like home for her first official day. She was soft-spoken, warm-hearted, and carried herself with a calmness that made even the cold rooms feel slightly less lonely. She tied her brown hair into a ponytail, pulled on her gloves, and whispered to herself, "All right, Claire, don't get overwhelmed." But who wouldn't be overwhelmed? The chandeliers glittered like frozen rain. The staircase curved like it was sculpted by angels. Even the air smelled expensive, a mix of cedar wood, leather, and old money. She started dusting the piano, careful not to leave fingerprints. That's when she saw it, a single envelope, slightly opened, tucked between the piano keys. Curiosity tugged at her, but she reminded herself, this is his private space. Don't cross the line. She moved on, until she heard footsteps. Alexander entered the room wearing a crisp white shirt, but despite his perfection, his eyes looked tired, a man who hadn't slept in peace for a long time. Claire straightened. "Good morning, sir?" He nodded without really seeing her. "Morning." His voice was deep but hollow, the kind that carried hidden storms. She noticed him glance toward the envelope, quickly, sharply, before looking away, as if the paper held something too painful to face. But then something unexpected happened. As Alexander turned to leave, his phone buzzed. He checked the screen and froze. His expression cracked, just for a second, and Claire saw something no one ever sees in a billionaire: fear, regret, loss. He walked out without saying a word. Claire exhaled slowly. What was going on in this house? She found out 3 hours later. While cleaning the upstairs hallway, she passed a partially open door. Inside, Alexander sat alone in a massive walk-in closet, holding a necklace shaped like a tiny silver heart. He wasn't aware she was there. He whispered, "I'm sorry, Lily. I should have been there. I should have stayed."
Claire's breath caught. Lily? A wife? A child? A sister? But before she could process it, her elbow accidentally hit the doorframe. Alexander's head snapped up. Claire panicked. I'm sorry, sir. I didn't mean to intrude. He wiped his eyes quickly. It's fine. But his voice trembled. Claire stepped back, sensing his pain but respecting his boundaries. Yet fate had its own plans. The next morning, Claire returned to find Alexander packing up large boxes in his study. Papers were scattered, drawers open, his usual perfection gone. "I'm throwing everything out," he muttered.
Everything? Claire asked gently. These letters, these gifts, all reminders. The envelope from the piano was on the table. Without thinking, Claire spoke softly. Sometimes the things we want to throw away are the things we actually need to face. He looked up at her, not angry, not offended, just lost. You think I need to face this? He asked. Claire nodded. Maybe you've been hurting alone for too long. Alexander stared at the envelope like it was a live wire. Finally, with shaky fingers, he opened it in front of her. Inside was a handwritten letter. Claire recognized the writing instantly. Soft, rounded, feminine. He read aloud, "Alex, I know you're scared, but I'm not disappearing. Even if life separates us, love won't. Don't lock your heart away. One day, someone will help you open it again." It was signed with a name. Lily. Claire felt her chest tighten. He swallowed. She was my fiancée. She died in a car accident on her way to meet me. We had an argument that morning, and I told her not to come. But she did, and she never made it. Claire felt tears push at her eyes. No luxury in the world could soften that blow. As days passed, Claire became the quiet warmth the house desperately needed. She didn't pry, didn't pressure, just existed gently around him. And Alexander, slowly, began to breathe again. One evening, she was polishing the mirror in the grand hallway when Alexander approached her. His voice was calm. "Claire, thank you for not treating me like I'm made of glass." It was signed with a name. Lily. She smiled softly. "You're not made of glass, sir. You're just human." For the first time, he smiled back, a real smile. But the twist came the next morning. Claire walked into the mansion and found Alexander arguing with someone at the door. A woman who looked very much alive. "Alex," she said breathlessly, "you blocked me everywhere. I tried to send letters, I tried everything. I got the surgery, I survived. I'm here." Claire froze. Alexander stepped back as if he'd seen a ghost. "Lily?" Claire gasped. "Alive! The fiancé he believed he'd lost, alive!" Lily explained everything. The crash, the coma, the months of recovery in another state. Her letters returned to sender, her calls unanswered. Alexander's grief burying him alive. Claire stepped back, feeling her heart twist. She wasn't in love with Alexander, not yet, but she cared, deeply. Alexander turned to Claire, eyes swirling with confusion, shock, and gratitude. And in that moment, she understood. Sometimes the twist life brings isn't tragedy. Sometimes it's a second chance. But second chances come with choices. Alexander looked between the two women, his past and the woman who helped him breathe again. The story didn't end with a kiss or a decision, because some endings take time. But as Claire walked out of the mansion that evening, Alexander stopped her. "Claire, please don't go far. Whatever happens next, I want you close. You helped me find the light again." She nodded softly, her heart warm.
And behind them, the mansion, once cold and silent, felt alive again. Because sometimes luxury isn't marble floors or gold chandeliers. Sometimes luxury is healing. If stories of kindness and second chances touch your heart, please like, share, and subscribe. Your support helps us keep telling stories that heal and inspire. See you in the next one. Bye for now.